Welcome back to The Explainer. We're always looking for ways to keep our dogs happy and healthy. And today, we're going to dive into something pretty amazing, a secret world inside them that could be the key to, well, pretty much everything. I mean, think about it, right? We're so focused on the outside stuff, the food in their bowl, the walks in the park. But what if the real secret to their health is hidden somewhere we can't even see? Deep inside their gut. Okay, so to get our heads around this, we need to talk about something called the gut microbiota. Now, that sounds super sciencey, I know, but honestly, the easiest way to picture it is like a huge, bustling city of tiny organisms living inside your dog. It's their own personal inner ecosystem. And I get it, the word bacteria can make you kind of recoil, right? But these aren't the bad guys. We're talking trillions, trillions of good guys. They're the invisible workforce doing all the heavy lifting, breaking down food, helping absorb nutrients, even training the immune system. They're basically the bouncers for the intestines, keeping everything safe. So, what happens when that bustling city falls into chaos? When things get, well, out of whack? There's a name for that. It's called dysbiosis, and you really want to avoid it. It's a huge red flag because scientists are linking this imbalance to all sorts of issues, like chronic inflammation and even obesity. Okay, so if an unbalanced gut is the villain of our story, who are the heroes? Well, this is where probiotics come onto the scene. So what are probiotics exactly? Well, the official definition says they're live microorganisms that give a health benefit. The key words there are live and benefit. These aren't just random bacteria, they're the good guys, sent in as reinforcements to help your dog's body out. And here's a great way to think about it. You know how antibiotics are kind of like a nuke? They just go in and wipe out everything, the good bacteria along with the bad. Well, probiotics are totally different. They're more like a special ops team. They go in with a specific mission, to support the good guys and help restore order without all that collateral damage. And here are some of the star players on that special ops team. Yeah, the names are a mouthful, Lactobacillus, Bifidobacterium, but you'll see these guys pop up a lot. They're some of the most researched, and honestly, they're total powerhouses when it comes to gut health. All right, so that's the what. Now for the how. How does this all play out in the real world? Let's look at some super common doggy ailments and see how probiotics can step in to help. First up, the big one, chronic digestive issues. Oh man, if you've been through this with your dog, you know, it is just a constant struggle for you and for them. Okay, now this is what I find so fascinating. Look at this. We have one specific probiotic strain, Lactobacillus acidophilus, and it's linked to helping with things like colitis, but also bad breath and gum disease. Isn't that wild? It's the perfect example of how what happens in the gut doesn't stay in the gut. A healthy gut can literally impact your dog's entire body, right down to their teeth. All right, let's tackle another villain, obesity. And we're not just talking about a dog being a little chunky. This is a serious health issue. And you guessed it, it's deeply connected to what's happening in their gut. See, it's so much more than just extra weight. Obesity throws the body into a state of constant low-grade inflammation. It actually kills off the variety of good bacteria in the gut, and it can even mess with hormones like serotonin, which slows the whole digestive system down. It's like it completely rewires their internal programming, and not in a good way. But here's the cool part. Science is showing that certain probiotic strains can actually fight back. Look at this one, B. lactis. Studies are showing it can help decrease how much fat the body stores and help manage weight gain. That's pretty incredible, right? And the gut's reach doesn't stop there. Let's talk about skin. You know, that constant scratching, the hot spots, the irritated skin. That's atopic dermatitis, and it's another one of those things you'd never think was connected to the gut, but it is. This is just amazing. The gut-skin connection is real. Probiotics can help get these skin problems under control by working from the inside. It's all about balancing the immune system. Think of it like a seesaw, the Th1/Th2 system. When one side is way too high, you get allergies and inflammation. Probiotics help level out that seesaw, which calms everything down on the outside. Okay, so we're sold. These little guys are awesome. But there's a practical problem, right? How in the world do we get these living bacteria all the way down into the intestines so they can get to work? It's a tougher journey than you'd think. First, they have to survive being made into a product. Then they sit on a shelf. And then the biggest boss level, the stomach. It's like a bath of acid in there. A lot of probiotics just don't make it. And that is where some really clever science comes into play. It's called microencapsulation. The best way to picture it is like a tiny little submarine or an armored car.
They put the probiotic inside, seal it up in this protective coating, and that little vehicle protects it from everything until it gets to the safe zone, the intestines. Then the doors open and the good bacteria are released right where they need to be. So smart.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground. Let's pull it all together. What's the big takeaway here? What does this mean for you and your dog? This might be the most crucial thing to remember. Probiotics aren't a magic pill. They aren't a quick fix for a problem that popped up yesterday. Think of them as a long-term strategy. It's about maintenance, prevention, and slowly, gently helping that inner ecosystem get back into a healthy balance. So, let's wrap this up. What's the bottom line? Probiotics are all about supporting that core balance in the gut. They're an amazing tool for prevention, for getting ahead of problems before they even start. They boost long-term digestive health, immune health, and honestly, they're just a fantastic, natural addition to any wellness routine you have for your dog. Which really leaves us with one last question to chew on, doesn't it? With everything we're learning about this incredible connection, maybe it's time we all started thinking about our dog's health not from the outside in, but from the inside out.